Good evening, folks. Today is Wednesday, August 17th, 7 p.m., or just about 7 p.m. Doing some work here at my desk. My name is Jon Bouche. I'm the vice chairman of the local Montgomery County Republican Party. Somebody just shot me an email with the post of something that the chairman of the party's wife posted. So I wanted to just reach out to you guys and let you know what's going on with the party right now. Because, as I've said before, these people are world-class liars, and they live on causing confusion and stoking anger. So let me just get into this and tell you what's going on. This is your update on the Montgomery County Republican Party. You know, our chairman has a real conflict of interest. His wife owns Southern Heritage Political Consulting, and her clients are endorsed by this PAC that she helped create called the Republican Voters of Texas. They present themselves at the polls in such a way as to make people believe that they are the Republican Party and her candidates are endorsed by the Republican Party, and they are not. It's dirty electioneering. They were condemned by the party for this. Recently, one of our precinct chairs was at the polls telling voters about this situation and holding up a sign. The chairman wrote her a letter threatening legal action for speaking out against his wife's client. So this is a real conflict of interest. The chairman works for the Republican Party for the county executive committee for the local party. His primary job is to chair the committee to make sure that they get their business done. But with this conflict of interest, well, that makes it pretty difficult, especially since he doesn't have the support of the majority of the party here. So at the first vote at the organizational meeting we had, for example, he realized he was upside down, 52 to 26. He did not have the votes to impose his will and get his agenda done. So he's embarked on a new tactic where he just says, I'm just going to nullify the results of that vote. Or if there's any meeting that he doesn't like, whether it's properly called and managed or whatever, he just says, I'm declaring that meeting invalid. It's absolute nonsense. Recently, he started sending out meeting calls to have two separate meetings at the same time on the same date. He's doing this to split the party, make the party dysfunctional, because he doesn't have the majority of the vote. So he is just trying to cause as much disruption as he can. And now he has started creating officer positions that don't exist in the past bylaws or the present bylaws. But he's doing that because, again, he can't get the people he wants elected by the CEC. So he just takes his minority faction and just starts making up positions. It's not good. He did show up to one meeting where the majority of the party was there, and he refused to call the meeting to order or chair the meeting until his preconditions were met. Well, this is entirely inappropriate. And after being repeatedly asked to call the meeting to order and do his job, and him refusing to do it, he was finally asked to leave. But instead of leaving, he's on the microphone speaking really loudly and inciting other people to yell out to disrupt business. It got so bad I had to go turn off the mics of everyone in the building except for the person who had the floor so that the meeting could be called to order and the business could be done. And that's what happened. He did this because he knew he didn't have the majority. So to say, I'm not going to call the meeting to order until you agree to my preconditions is just stupid. But that's what he tried to do. If you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's funny that his supporters, his wife is pushing this video around as if it makes him out to be the victim. But you'll see in the video over and over he's asked to call the meeting to order, and he won't do it. So in light of all this, at the meeting on Saturday, August 13th, the majority of the CEC voted to remove Chairman Chris from one of the three accounts, bank accounts that the party has. Now that bank account holds the funds for the Victory Committee for the upcoming November election. There were fundraisers done by the party for the last couple of years for the election, and that's what that money is going to be used for. And it turns out it was a really good decision that they removed his name from the account. They put the treasurer on it, the vice treasurer, and the vice chairman, which is me, which I reluctantly accepted. But had it been any other vice chairman, they wouldn't have said anything. But since it's me, they're upset about it. But since the chairman is in violation of the Republican Party of Texas rules, the Texas Election Code, Robert's Rules of Orders, and our bylaws. And all this is well documented in a formal complaint that the Republican Party of Texas is viewing right now. The CEC, the County Executive Committee, just thought it prudent to remove him from that bank account. He didn't help raise the money. He refused to help raise the money, in fact, but that money is much needed for the upcoming campaign. And it turns out it's a really good thing that they made that decision, because yesterday or day before yesterday, our chairman just announced that he had formed his own steering committee. It's not in our past or present bylaws how he could do that, but he just said he did it, and that committee was going to go ahead and do a resolution to give him access to the bank account, which of course he would have cleaned out, I'm sure. So that money is safe now, and it will be used as it should be at the discretion of the County Executive Committee for the upcoming election. I want you to know, as I mentioned earlier, the Republican Party of Texas does have the formal complaint right now from the majority of the Republican Party. I think there's 64, maybe even more people who are opposing the chairman's actions. There are numerous violations, and they're very well documented with video and documentation, et cetera, emails. And that information is being reviewed by the state Republican Executive Committee right now. And I'm sorry I got to make this video, but whenever you're dealing with world-class liars, you spend all your time trying to untangle the mess they're making as they try and cause confusion and anger. But listen, my cell number is 281-907-3989. If you have any questions, just give me a call. I'm happy to answer your questions. You know, one of the charges that they're saying against me is that I'm angry and I'm jealous and everything like that. First of all, I didn't run for county chair this time, so that's not true. I reluctantly accepted the nomination for vice chair and was elected unanimously by the people at the meeting. And look, it's not something that I want to do, but the chairman's bad behavior is not because I'm involved in the party. Actually, the reverse is true. I'm involved in the party because of the chairman's bad behavior. And I will continue to be involved until he starts doing his job and unites the party. And look, the majority gets their way. The minority gets their say. Until he figures that out, he's not the king. His job is to facilitate the business of the CEC, not to tell them what to do, and if he doesn't get his way, to nullify their votes or declare their meetings invalid. So that's all I got. Again, 281-907-3989. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. My name is Jon Bouche, Vice Chairman of the Montgomery County Republican Party. God bless you. Have a good night.